I got another mock draft for you guys, but we got a different concept today. I'm doing a mock draft. What if every NFL team just drafted the best player available, no matter position, no matter their team? We're going off a consensus big board on NFLmockdraftdatabase.com. We're going to use the consensus big board and just follow the big board one by one until we get to pick 32, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. Obviously, this is pretty unrealistic, but just a fun exercise, see what happens. First up, Caleb Williams is what it is. Not going to talk too much about that, kind of how it is. Next up, we got Drake May, number 2 on the big board. I think that's how it goes in the NFL draft. So far, we're not too crazy. Number 3, Marvin Harrison. We're just following. This is how my mock draft went. So far, we're all normal. Number 4, where it gets a little spicy, Jaden Daniels is number 4. So, in this situation, the Arizona Cardinals are moving off of Kyler Murray. They say, hey, Jaden Daniels is just the best value pick. We'll go ahead and get him. A little bit interesting there. Pick 5, the Chargers are going to go with Malik Neighbors, number 5 on the board. So, pretty normal pick again. I think that could actually happen. Giants at pick number 6 are going to go with Rome Odunze. We got the receivers coming off the board. Realistically, the only pick so far, Jaden Daniels is the only one that I'm like, probably is not going to happen, but you never know. Number 7, the Tennessee Titans say, you know what? The Will Levis era is over. We love ourselves some J.J. McCarthy. They go ahead and get J.J. McCarthy because, Will Levis was a second-round pick. They didn't invest a lot into him. They really like J.J. McCarthy. They're going to go with him at 7. Pick number 8. This is one I do not agree with, but I'm following the consensus big board. And the consensus big board has Dallas Turner as the number 8th player, which actually could happen in the NFL draft. Get the first defensive player off the board is what it is. Next up, the Bears at pick 9. Honestly, dream scenario for the Bears. They go ahead and get themselves Joe Alt. Man, if Joe Alt fell to the Bears, that would throw Caleb Williams in with Joe Alt, Darnell Wright, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You got something going in Chicago there. Pick number 10, we got Brock Bowers to the Jets. Realistic, I don't think it'll happen because I just don't think tight ends are going to go that high. I think NFL is hopefully catching up to the value of tight ends and how they peak later, but they take him at 10. I wouldn't be shocked. So far, really just two kind of crazy picks, and it was the 2 quarterbacks. But at pick 11, we got Terrion Arnold as the next guy off the board. I think Minnesota could really use a corner, so I think they not really use one. I mean, they could use one. I don't think that would be an awful pick. At pick 12, the Denver Broncos get another corner, this time in Quinyon Mitchell. I think it's a pick that could easily happen in the NFL draft. So, like I said, it hasn't been too crazy so far, just picking best player. It's really just the quarterbacks that throw it off. But so far, I mean, maybe you should just go BPA. You never know. At pick 13, we got Jared Verse going to the Raiders. That would definitely be an interesting pick with Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson in the first round last year, throwing Jared Verse in there. I mean, hey, you got a hell of a defensive end room, but don't know if they really need that. That one's a little bit questionable. Pick 14, the New Orleans Saints. This is actually the same player I had them getting in my mock draft. Olu Fashanu at pick 14. Next up, the Colts at pick 15. Follow the O-line, trying to go ahead and get themselves Talisi Fuanga. Just a couple O-line. Wouldn't be shocked if those two happen. I mean, Colts aren't in desperate need of a tackle, but Talisi Fuanga is just good value at 15 anyway. Moving on, pick 16. We got Leatu Latu coming off the board to the Seahawks. This is a pick that I think could easily happen. Also, I think I've had it in 1 or 2 of my mock drafts, Leatu Latu on the Seahawks, so nothing crazy there. 17. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go ahead and get themselves receiver Brian Thomas. I think Brian Thomas is pretty high on the consensus big board, actually. I'm a little surprised he's that high, but like I said, Jacksonville taking a receiver, I really wouldn't be shocked at all. So that's another solid pick. Just grabbing BPAs. Number 18 now, the Bengals grabbing guy, yet again, guy I'm not too shocked about going here. They get Byron Murphy from Texas, the defensive lineman. Got to replace DJ Reader on the inside there. So another D tackle, one of their top needs. We keep it rolling. Number 19, the Los Angeles Rams, another really good pick. They're going to get themselves Troy Fatanu from Washington. Man, this is, maybe teams should just go BPA. Unless it's quarterback. I mean, BPA is looking pretty good for a lot of these teams, just getting good players at good positions. Number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go ahead and get themselves J.C. Latham, the next tackle off the board. There's a lot of tackles and D linemen in these consensus big board rankings. Interesting to see. I'm churning through this video. I'm not trying to take much time. Just kind of see what will happen. So we're just going to get through the picks. Pick 21, we got the Miami Dolphins taking Cooper DeJean. They went ahead. They lost Xavier Howard this offseason, going to replace him with Cooper DeJean. I mean, don't think it'll happen, but, solid pick. Number 22, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to grab themselves Nate Wiggins. Personally, I think Nate Wiggins will be more of a late first rounder rather than that high, but you know what? A little higher on the big board than I have him, but we'll take that, I guess. Number 23, Amarius Mims is going to be the pick for the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings coming out of this draft with Terrion Arnold and Amarius Mims. Not a bad draft, if you ask me, for them. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys at pick 24. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Can't say they need another corner, but you got one. You got another guy in Kool-Aid McKinstry who, could be a star in Dallas. Hey, you like a star? I'll move on. Pick number 25. We got Jerzon Newton. I'm surprised Jerzon Newton's 25 on the consensus big board. I mean, I never really do a big board. That's just not kind of my thing. But, if I had a big board, I'd have him in, the top 15 probably, not down near 25. So I seem closer to how PFF sees him in, but a little lower on the consensus. Next up at 26, we got Adonai Mitchell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's probably your Chris Godwin replacement. Chris Godwin's leaving next year. Replace him with Adonai Mitchell. Not too shabby. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals. After grabbing themselves Jaden Daniels early on in the draft, they're going to grab themselves O-lineman Graham Barton. I think that's actually a pick that I could easily see happening in the draft. If Graham Barton's there at 27, I would see them eating that up because he can play guard. He can slide out to left tackle if they need, but I think he'd play guard for them, and they need a guard. So I think that's a great pick, actually. Pick 28, the Buffalo Bills are going to get themselves some interior help and grab Jackson Powers Johnson. I think they have a lot more needs than a center at this point, but, I'm just following the big board. I'm just doing what I'm told. At pick 29, the Detroit Lions. I like this pick, actually. I like this pick a lot. We're going to go ahead and grab, just going down the board, a little Chop Robinson. I'm surprised Chop's this high on the consensus big board, but I love Chop, man. I think he should be going in the first round. Like I said, PFF had him down in the low 30s, but I think he's a hell of a player. I'd be shocked if Chop doesn't go in the first round. So, honestly, Detroit's not a bad spot for him, too. I could see that. 29 Chop Robinson. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw that. Next up, pick 30. Another pick I wouldn't be shocked if it actually happened. Tyler Guyton, the developmental tackle out of Oklahoma, going to the Ravens. They could use more tackle. Good developmental guy. Not too crazy. Pick 31. The San Francisco 49ers. Tough loss in the Super Bowl. If you had to blame one person, it's all on Brock Purdy, man. He lost the game for them. We're drafting Michael Penix. Michael Penix, the Kyle Shanahan savior, going to come in and take the Niners to a new Super Bowl. They said, you know what? You can't miss on quarterback every single time, We may have hit a little on Brock Purdy, but we're swinging for the fences. We're going for Michael Penix at pick 31. Incredible pick by the 49ers. I'm joking, by the way. It would never happen, but it happens here. And then pick 32 is kind of, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. They say, we barely won. What was the reason we barely won? You got to self-scout in the offseason. You say, we barely won the Super Bowl. What was the reason? I think if there's one person to say, if they would have lost the game, I think all the blame would have been on one person, and they're going to go ahead and replace this person. All the blame would have been on Patrick Mahomes. So we're going to draft Bo Nix for the Kansas City Chiefs here at pick 32. Listen, it got a little wild at the end of the first round. I'll be honest here. The quarterbacks, a little interesting. We got Jaden Daniels to the Cardinals. We got Michael Penix to the 49ers and Bo Nix to the Chiefs. You guys can go ahead and place your bets on those guys going to those teams because, hey, I'm following the big board. This is what it told me. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Some of these picks, they're kind of a little bit wild. Make sure you like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks for watching.